Hey guys, this is Julia Mud Spirit and the first ever episode of Women in Dancehall, a podcast where we talk to female dancehall dancers about their dance journey, mindset, struggles they've been through, and trying to create a platform to have an open and honest conversation about important topic in dancehall that we discuss every day. So today with me is D Mud Spirit, a very good friend of mine. I've been known her for almost 12 years now. 12, right? Since
I
2013.
think so.
12 years. Yeah, and she's amazing dancehall dancer. She's been doing her thing for more than 15, 16 years now. She's a DJ, she's a dancer, performer, teacher, and a lot more. And I believe that it couldn't be anyone else today with me on the first episode. Yeah, just basically hear her story and know whose demon spirit actually is, if we not take in consideration just dancing or just her dancing career, right? Yeah, D, hi.
Hello, Julia.
I do have my opinion, like why I want to talk to you today, but can you maybe introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us something about yourself that you would like people to know, or something maybe we don't know about you yet?
Well, my name is Diana, but in dancing world, I'm known as D. And I have my own team, which is my spirit, and I represented and represent Ukraine. Now I live in Sweden, Stockholm, and I'm trying to also develop my own vision of dancing and dancehall, particularly in here. And yeah, just connecting with people and enjoy dancehall as much as I can. Also improve my dancing skills, of course, always. And I've been doing dancehall for, as you said, 15, 16 years. Before I used to dance different styles, classic dance like ballet, and then any other street dances. And most of my time I've been dancing actually in my life. So yeah, I'm a bit hectic. Maybe you can pinpoint somewhere where I can
Yeah, sure.
talk more
Sure,
about.
sounds great. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. So I will start like a very maybe basic question, just two words. You can answer like whatever way you want. So why dancehall, like for you personally?
I think because it is like so many ways of expressing myself in dancehall. Because you can be sad, you can be happy, you can be angry, you can feel like some sexy vibe, you can feel some beachy vibe, and everything that you might feel, everything you can express with dancehall actually, and not go from one style to another style. After I started dancing, I realized that it's of course more than just dance, and I started diving more into the culture itself, and I figured out that there are a lot of different things that I would like to learn and take from them.
Yeah, makes sense. What is interesting to me is like, do you remember a moment in your life when you just like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is something that,
Sounds crazy.
do. Like, do you remember the moment when it's just like, it switched in your mind and just like, yes, that's what it is. I'm not interested in anything else. This is just my life's work.
Well, I think, yeah, it was funny because I started dancing dancehall by accident. Originally, I wanted to dance hip hop, like switch from ballet to street style. And they had classes 2 times per week, but one time from same teacher, same group. But inside the group, they split it into one time of hip hop and one time of dancehall. I had no idea what dancehall means. And I think by that time, dancehall just started to develop in Ukraine. And yeah, and I didn't actually like dancehall. I was like, what is this? This is so weird. Like this is weird. But then the group decided to focus on one style, and it was dancehall, which wasn't my choice to be honest.
It was just like hip hop, voting for hip hop, and everything.
Yes. No, and everyone was like, no, that was amazing. It's cool. I was like, well, anyway, let me just continue with this because I want to dance, right? So that was one moment. I was like, well, okay, dance all then. But I never thought of being in dance like, okay, this and this for the rest of my life. No. And I don't think that it is still like, it is for sure like in me already, and I know that it's a huge part of my life, and if I take it away, then it's empty, like 70% of me, of my life actually. And the second moment was when I won my first battle, and it was actually a big, huge, but that moment competition in Ukraine. Started from there, I think everything just like started to go more and more, and I started to realize that yeah, every time I do something with dancehall makes me feel like yeah, this is me, this is mine. Even though I love to dance different styles, still I don't feel that much as I feel dancehall.
If people would see the first videos of you dancing, when we didn't understand it was different like categories of dance, we just like, new
Yeah,
party moves and social dance moves. And they was all like about this happy lifestyle. And I think it matched your personality a lot. And
100%.
and it's just like, wow, okay, that does make sense that she's doing all of it. It's not on my list of questions, but I wanted to ask because you mentioned that. I was surprised to hear it myself. So you said like dancehall is important, but it's like 70% of my life and like 30 is something else. So can you describe who Dee is without dancehall, like this 30%, like as a person maybe, or as a woman, like whatever you wanna uh
Spicy question. Well, I would say I'm for sure a person of art. So if I take away dancehall as a culture, as my dance style, then I will still probably be dancer, teacher, 100% teacher. I think D without dance, if we take away dance, is the person who always learns something.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be able to be, sitting on one spot and like
Yeah.
doing nothing, if it does make sense.
Yeah, it does. And I think it's interesting to hear because most of the people just know that you dance all the time. And they're just like, I cannot even imagine Dee not dancing. Like, anyway, we never actually talked about it like properly about the mod spirit, like how the idea started, how the group and team was created. Like, do you remember maybe the initial team members? Because most of the people know, okay, it's just me, DJs, Vicky, and Nika, but maybe they forgot it was
Yeah.
a lot more people there.
Yeah. But do you remember actually how it started?
I remember how we came up with the name, but I don't remember like the process of actually like talking about yeah
Okay.
the team or whatever it is.
Well, how was it, to be honest? And I clearly remember that. I was always um, talking about me join any team and not maybe dancehall team, actually. And I was talking to you a lot about this. You were the one, actually,
Was
who
me?
said, you know what? Why don't you just create your own team?
It
And
was
I
me
was like,
making a hint. I want to be on the team.
well, you would be already. It's not
I
even a
honestly don't
question.
remember. I remember choosing a name when we texted in this Telegram group and just like bringing up names. And I'm telling you, like, I was a house dancer, if you remember. And I was in love with this 3-on-3 battles when it was like Perla,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they had a team that was battling 3-on-3 all the time. And the team name was Fighting Spirit. And I was just like, the name is so fucking great, but we took the spirit out of that. And then we started coming up with like adjectives to add to that. And then
Yeah,
someone, I don't remember who, someone said
me
mod,
neither.
but it's actually like kind of a Jamaican word because it can describe a lot of stuff. So we just like, not mad like in English, but mod spirit. So it sounds
Right.
Jamaican.
Yeah. But back to the point of you telling me that, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Why not, actually? And then I started to think what and how exactly to make it work. You were a part of not close group, I would say, but the
It was like a core
advanced,
group of people who already knew what dancehall is. And then
yes, yes, advanced group, and there were people who actually like kind of um follow my own way of dancing and my own way of thinking about dance and dancehall particularly. And yeah, we were kind of all on the same page, so I decided that I'm gonna pick people, almost all of them, and I was in the class, And I said, okay, now I'm creating a team. And then because I will point on the top of your head if you're in.
So what about
And
other
I
people
was
who didn't join? They were just like, okay, my life is over.
But no, I explained because these people I see and I know that they are interested in the same things as me. So no offense for people who are not into because I know that it's not their intention. For example, it was a girl who was dancing hip hop and she wasn't interested in like being dancehall dancer, so there is no point to have her in Mad Spirits, for example. My goal of this team was to be a family and not like me being a teacher and then you're just my students. You said that we could add some people, but I don't really actually recall that, except these two girls from different cities. But I do recall that it was the 12 of us, or more or less, anyway, and then smaller amount of people dropped or we stopped just being together. And then started to be close to with Vicky.
We was in the bar, sitting in the bar, and I told him, like, don't you think that we have to invite Vicky to the group? And he was just like, I never thought about it. Like maybe it wasn't like exactly like this, but I remember suggesting it because we kind of was practicing together anyway. She's a great dancer, she has to be on the team. And then
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And I was afraid that not everyone will accept this because I know that not everyone was in like close relationship with her. But yeah, and that's the only person that actually was added to the group. I remember we were talking about like, oh, so how we like position our group? Is it like about like being open to add any more, participants? And then we're like, but we're good. We're good. Of course, we don't know if we find, for example, one day a person that is really, really close to us and we feel connection, then I don't see any problem.
Yeah, so for the people who really want to join Mad Spirit, as you now understand, there is no way you cannot you cannot do it, no matter how good you dance, how hard you try. The doors are closed. Before we're gonna go to tricky questions. Yeah, maybe you can talk a little bit more about your journey as a teacher. So you are the one who actually interested in introducing people to dancehall and teach them to dance, even if they have absolutely no background in dancehall, dance itself, never moved their body. And not a lot of people are ready to do that just because it takes so much time, effort, and dedication, I think. So why basically you chose to go in this direction and teach people who like very, very beginners?
So I never thought about this, and my goal always was to spread actually dancehall because I feel like everything that I get from this culture fulfill me a lot,
Mm.
and I really want people to have the same experience at least. And then with time, I think I do like to introduce, as you said, dance and dancehall to people, and I feel like this is my path at some point, and then to kind of get them to the point of being professional dancers with all tools. Because I also was a person who never danced one day, and then I started dance, so I have experience of this, and I know what kind of things people can face and struggle with. So I want really to make this path for them easier and like just save their time since I've been doing this and I know tools that can give them more opportunities to reach their goals really faster. I always tell that everyone can dance. Everyone. Even if you have no talent, I don't know what it is this no talent. No. You have possibility, you have ability to dance. You can dance. Everyone can dance. Wait, I want to point something here. The Julia actually is one of my first students in the whole my teaching experience. So
Yeah, I've been on the very, very
please,
first class of dance holiday taught ever. I don't remember it. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, and like getting back to the point when you said about talent, I think that sometimes having talent like actually doesn't bring you anything. Like it's not like advantage. I had a student. She had a couple of private classes with me. She was doing tricks. She was doing everything. She had already like all kind of physical abilities. Her first ever event, she passed the selection of 100 people, and so I'm just like, oh my gosh, look, you have everything that, and it just like wasn't her thing. She's just like, maybe sometimes it's just like if it comes to you too easy, you're just like not interested.
Yeah,
Like it has to
exactly.
be a challenge, or you're just like, I'm fucking gonna do. I'm not flexible or something, but I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah,
I think like maybe if you are talented, it's actually not gonna play in
a
your.
bad thing. It's a
Yeah.
bad thing. Don't be talented. But what would you say? Why you think, and when it comes to you, for example, teaching, because you've been teaching and you have this experience, do you like introducing dancehall, and do you think that you have patience for teaching people from the zero? Like,
Well, maybe now, yes. Back in the days when I started, like I don't know, 8 years ago when I was started teaching, I think I didn't have enough of knowledge myself to teach someone who have never danced in their life. So I could help to kind of navigate where to go, what to do if you already have some kind of experience. But to start with someone who has absolutely zero, like never moved a body in their life to the music, it just like was very difficult for me. And I feel like the reason why is because I still was focused very much on myself. So when you focus on your own, like dancing and everything, it's very hard to give back. But now I don't mind. I would teach class to very beginners, and we just like, yeah, sure, let's dance.
do you think that teaching beginners is much more harder than teaching people that already have a level?
Yes and no, because sometimes when the person is on a very good level, this person doesn't need a teacher. This person just have to go and discover something by him or herself. And there is a question arises in my head: if you're still a good dancer, why are you looking for a teacher? Like I feel like
Oh, very nice.
you need to just
That's a good one.
need to start developing your own style, and you will never do it having someone just always telling you what to do.
That's a good one. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I feel like you might have still a teacher for yourself when you're already like somewhere on the high level. But in terms of maybe for discipline, some people, me, I know myself. If I want really to like practice and train, I need someone who's gonna kind of like, look after me, like do that, be here. Or also a person who can, not only one maybe, but people who can help you with some things that you want to develop, but you can't, like in general, you can't go like and practice by yourself. But if you have someone who's good in this, then I think it saves your time and it's better to come to this person and
Yeah,
ask.
but what you talk is more like teaching specific skills. For example, I'm a dance
Ah,
dancer, I'm a
yeah.
dancehall female dancer, and I want to dance dancehall queen. So I'm going to the gym and I am taking classes like acrobatics and shit, jumping, whatever.
Mm.
I'm upgrading my
Yeah,
skills.
makes sense. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Or mentor. You always,
Yeah.
yeah, you
But
can
the
have a
mentoring and
mentor.
like dancing with me every day and telling me what to do is a bit different.
Mm,
And I feel
yeah.
like back in the days, that's why I left. Remember, like when I was always on a group, and a group is I'm just like, no, I have to dance by myself. Yeah,
It's
and
like, no, do you know, I'll grow your teaching, so bye, leave
I came,
me
I
alone.
came, I came back. Anyway, the reason why I did it is because I felt like I'm never gonna find my own style in myself if I'm not
That
gonna
makes sense.
keep
That
going.
makes sense.
I was like, um, I felt like people were dancing, like they took too much from you. Like people who was taking your classes, they tried to do everything from A to Z like you did, and the style was very similar.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
And
100%.
it's
I
nothing
agree.
to do with you as a teacher. It's more like, does the person who takes the knowledge willing to
Makes sense.
do something with it in a bit
Makes
different.
sense, makes sense. The best way is, to be honest, as a teacher, I could say here, the best way is a communication.
And sometimes you also have to be honest. Like, for example, I do remember, like with us, you've been very much on like you took attention to every dance category, like student
Yeah,
school, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I felt within myself like I do want to focus just on female dance hall and just
makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
staying just with you and allocating my time to something that like I like, but I don't want to be like a pro in, just doesn't make any sense. So I started to kind of explore it more in like my direction. And I remember I took classes with Masha, dancehall queen Masha mom. Yeah, and that was
My
actually
teacher,
why I'm saying it because I've seen the video of her dancing today. So I'm just like,
yeah, same. And I'm gonna post it because I want really people to know. And since everyone was sometimes they're curious, like who's your teacher, you know?
yeah,
And she's the only one, and I want people to know her because she is the best. So
yeah, the most authentic person you can ever imagine, and
yeah,
just dedication to it, like through all her life, just yeah, crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, and I think that if I wasn't so like open to receive this kind of information, maybe I wouldn't grow like in female dance hall because
no,
Marsha gave me the basics of dancehall queen style, and at that time, no one knew that. In
no,
Ukraine, no one could give you this information. We knew some bits, but she actually gave me the vocabulary. She taught me like the
yeah,
tricks and everything else. So most of the things that I was teaching afterwards and I was practicing myself was because of Masha. I still have videos on my phone. She just like she forced me to record absolutely everything. She gave me the names to the tricks. And like I was searching, I was asking, no one, even some Jamaican dancers couldn't give me this information. And she just knew. So sometimes I feel like it's important to kind of be honest with yourself. What do you want to do with your dance?
100%.
And go and look for the information that will help you to do that. It's like,
And my teacher's ego saying, be honest with your teacher as well and talk honestly. I
yeah.
think we will spend too much time on this.
So because we call it women in dancehall, we have to talk more about the feminine women experience in it. So again, you can answer the way you want. There is no like restrictions
Right.
here. So what is your experience in dancehall community as a woman? Like how would you describe it?
Well, the first thing that pops up in my mind is that it's hard, to be honest, to be completely honest, because I feel like in Europe, in our countries, like East countries, women mostly dancehall, and not only female dance, but also male dance. But then in Jamaica, for example, I feel like me surrounded by male dancers, you know, and because of all culture things that you can be lower and below, you know, by male dancers. And it's not only towards European dancers, it's in general towards female dancers. And back to that time, of course, it was more male dancers doing dancehall and showing themselves and being on top and all that than female. Back to that time when they traveled to Europe, mostly male dancers traveled to Europe, and it's harder to get girls, you know, from Jamaica. So when it comes to myself and my own path in dancehall as a dancer, I find it really hard to, you know, it's like you fighting against the wall because I want to have recognition from male dancers because I do dance male dance and I want them to really give me, you know, a certain level of exception. But I don't get it because they don't see me as a dancer. They
Do
see me as a
you feel like they do not take you seriously just because you're a woman?
Exactly, yes. From my own experience, back to the days when I was literally like, I was on my way, you know, to
To
grow and was practicing every day, 5 hours, all of that. Um, I felt like I really want their attention. I really want to hear from them that, wow, you're a dope dancer, just something from them. And I found it really hard, first of all, because once they started to say some good things towards me, I was so impressed. I was like, oh my God, this is so sweet, Lola. But then I realized that it's not because me being a dancer, it's me being just
Mm.
pretty female, let's say. Yeah. And when once I realized that, it kind of, for me, was breaking point here. And yeah, and I didn't really I didn't want to give up, I would say, but it was a point where I was like, so I would never be a dancer for them. So what's the point of me fighting, for this recognition? So and then same time I was like, but that's understandable why I'm fighting for this. But same time, I'm doing this for myself, and I want to be a good dancer, no matter what, So it was in between because still, it's not my culture, and it's not gonna be my culture ever. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was almost like this. On like I couldn't see where I go. But then I was asked to be a part of the group, Jamaican team, and then again it was for me like a game. I couldn't really see what's behind it. Either I'm a female, or and then they were like, "Yeah, wow, you're pretty. You want to join? Because you look good, or like all of that, or you're from different country, which can expand our team, which are understandable." And I didn't want that. I really want for them to see me as a good dancer, and I wanted to hear the honest feedback about my dance because I want to uh, improve myself.
Yeah, so basically, you never knew when they comment on your dance skills or they just trying to be nice because they want your attention or just want to make a compliment or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this is the point where maybe I could be more straightforward and say like, okay, now I need to hear from you like feedback about my dance skills actually. Or if I just want to be noticed, then it's fine with me getting these compliments. So that part was a huge struggle for me because I had points where I want to give up actually.
Dancing or in terms of like get recognition from Jamaicans?
Both,
Both. Mm.
both. Yeah.
I think
But yeah.
sometimes like comes a moment when you understand that you are the only one person who has to give yourself recognition. Like they can tell you like people can tell you many things, but if you don't believe it within yourself, it doesn't matter if it's Jamaican dance,
100%.
like
100%.
your friend. But yeah, I feel like a lot of, especially like when I talk to Ukrainian dancers, because we are actually like focused on dancing skills. Like sometimes we take dance as a sport, like we have to be good at it and everything else. And at some like we started being a part of like international community not that far long ago, right? So I feel like they didn't even used to have this type of approach. They used to have Europeans who just travel to Jamaica, just learn to dance for fun. No one takes it seriously. No one trains every day. Like it's not their like life's work. And I feel like
Makes sense.
it's also like our responsibility to teach them that yes, I'm a woman, I'm a beautiful woman, I'm a part of a community, but I am still
Yeah.
a dancer and I want to be treated as a dancer, not as a someone,
Yeah.
have any type of relations with.
Also, I've been talking to a lot of people about that, and everyone can relate that generation are different. All generation, and I think it's related to what you said that never get experience this.
Jamaican dancers, right?
Jamaican dancers, yes. And it's crazy because I never like just for the past years, I've heard things that I never heard towards me. For example, oh, but you're OG. Jamaican dancers saying to me this. Oh,
Yeah.
you're OG. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, you started doing dancehall like before me, and you're big, you're amazing, like you have more knowledge than me. And I'm like, sorry, what? So like, and you see clear difference. And I'm not saying that I don't get credits for everything that I've done. No, of course not. And I'm dedicated to this culture. Support the culture. You keep doing things, then people will know. Like, people know, people see stuff. If you're doing certain stuff, then you will get the same feedback, but it's all about the period of time that you're doing this. So I would say I was struggling with this, but then I think I worked on myself here again with this recognition that I can give to myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And getting back to the like being a woman in dancehall, like you basically mentioned the struggle and like difficult part of it, but do you feel like dancehall helped you in any way being more feminine, or maybe feel yourself like, I don't know, a woman, like something that is not familiar to you within your own culture, like for example growing up in Ukraine,
100%.
we have different kind of relationships with men in terms of like how they treat you, what they're telling you, like uh, acceptance and all of it. So like how, if yes, how dancehall helped you in this direction?
100%. I would say that in terms of being more feminine, in terms of being more secure, 100%. That's all in this. Like if I want anyone to be secure, I would say go to Jamaica. And the reason is because the culture itself, about acceptance, and about from male perspective is to give any female compliments, appreciate her, like the beauty. The beauty is a beauty. You can be, I don't know, anything, long hair, no hair, boobs, no boobs. It doesn't matter. Literally, you're a woman. By default, you're amazing. And that's what gave me and still giving like this confidence, I would say. Really, you cannot be insecure when you're there because they give you.
This time there's no chance unless you're doing something wrong. You're not doing that, right? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's more like it gives you, like I would say, kind of freedom to express yourself.
Mm,
And this is something that sometimes, especially like in a Western society, is a bit different because like women have standards,
frames.
rules, and frames they have to follow just to be accepted. And dance hall celebrate the opposite side, like gives you an idea. Okay, so I don't have to limit myself anymore. I can just do whatever it looks
Yeah.
like, and I'll be accepted and I'll be celebrated and on all of it. And I have a very good example of it. So back in the days when I was training for dancehall queen contests, I took classes with b-boys, and they were teaching me to do some tricks, some head tops, whatever it is. And I've shown him this guy videos of the girl who was doing the dancehall queen competition in Jamaica, a Jamaican girl, and basically to show him what I want to look like when I'm doing these tricks. And he would just say, like, he said from a like dance perspective, what she does doesn't make sense. Like, the movement are not clear. Like some of them are completely wrong. Like here you see she falls from her head. Like it doesn't have to look like this. And I'm just like, no, you don't accept. You can look like this, and it's still great. Like people like love it. The audience is just going crazy, and it's not about doing the move right. It's about having
Mm,
sense and
right.
uh, the energy, whatever is going on. So
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that dancehall gives you, um, a chance to make a mistake and not be shamed
Right.
by it.
And judged. Right. Do whatever you want to do. Really. Literally. And that's awesome. I think that's the freedom is another part of dancehall that really gives you a lot actually and attract you to be in this. And why I love dancehall actually is it's freedom. It's really freedom. And I think everyone can accept it. But what would you say? How did it like have it done any impact on you being more secure or like
Um,
more sexy?
I'd say like I was like feminine and confident since I was young, but I feel dance hall helped with is basically to step out of my culture expectations and just do whatever I feel like, even if in my own culture it's not always going to be supported or approved. So in this sense, it kind of gave me the opportunity just to be free from those limitations that maybe I had just by living normal life and sticking to the rules that, we have in our
Agree.
country. So in this sense, yeah, and definitely more feminine because like I finally had a safe place to express myself in terms of outfits, makeup, whatever it is.
Do you agree that dancehall helps you reveal your inner you?
It's not about just inner me. I feel like every personality has shadow side, if you know what it.
Mm.
So I feel like dancehall is my shadow side. If it
Would
doesn't,
you like to get back this side of yours?
what I want is just be in balance. Because before I would just switch to shadow side only, and now
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a balance of it. So this is me, and this is my shadow side, which is also get seen. So what I want is
Okay.
to be in balance, and everything had their own time and place.
We're getting back, Julia, to Dancehall Female. Please welcome to Dancehall. From your side, I think people got uh the opinion that you cut it really like so strictly, like super like harsh. So there was like what? And like this huge announcement, and of course it's kind of shocked because uh well, usually you do have to have a reason, like huge reason to do that. But it's if it's just like fading, then it's not a big like announcement. So if you do that, that means that something happened. Like you must have a reason to do that. So that's why I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, what's going on? And now you're saying that you kind of like you found yourself like to still have it because it's still you, it's still yours. And I don't think, as we were talking with you, like you cannot just throw away half of your life that you've been
Yeah,
like doing this, and it's a
yeah,
part of you. Because knowing you always like you dedicated, like you gave yourself you like your 100 to this, like you deep dive in like in these parts more than like a lot of people do, and that's another thing that I always admire about you. But still, like, and then just to cut, it's like,
yeah. Like what I describe it to myself is like I obviously had reasons, like I had injury and I couldn't dance for a very long time. But I feel like I've been through some sort of like crisis when I had to question everything, not just dance hall, not just I had to question a lot of things just to understand if it's still relevant for a new me or the way I feel right now. So I never like questioned if it was like authentic or if it was like truth for me that I love that. So like of course I knew the answer to that, but I felt like there was a time when I had to reconsider what I am doing for the community and how I've been perceived as a person. So what I'm trying to do right now is just to contribute in a bit different way. I still want
makes
to dance,
sense.
I still want to be part of it, but I want to shift attention from myself to
Mm.
other people, but still, have a conversation or dance.
That's so grown. That's so like wow, so mature, and
9 years
so.
old.
But I think people will be happy seeing you kind of back on track
So
in
it's
any
like,
time.
if not, it just,
And Julia sometimes dance, just so you know, guys.
I still can do high tops. Yeah, it's something that you cannot unlearn. I can stop dancing for 10 years, but I still can do
You
split.
cannot undo, you cannot unfeel it,
Yeah,
Julia. It's in
absolutely.
you. We
Imagine
must
how many times
experience.
Like how many times I did the split? Millions of times. From a happy note to just a bit more serious one, to the last question that I want to discuss, because I feel like if I call my podcast Women in Dancehall, I cannot just, sweep it under the rug and not talk about it. So for the last couple of months, maybe half a year, there was like a big kind of movement where women coming out with like insane stories about emotional abuse, physical abuse, about the details of their relationship with Jamaican dancers. And not just coming out with stories, there are proofs of that, like, screenshots, videos, like all of that. I do not want to go into details, discuss, names or specific situations, but what do you think about basically what's going on right now? Like for myself, I know that it always has been a part of the culture, as much as we do not want to accept it. It was always there. But why do you think women started coming out right now? Because you've seen it. It was just one person, another, and then it's just like more and more people telling the same stories, like from different perspectives, and just like why do you feel they found the strength to to share what's going on in their life?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting topic, I think, for a lot of people. But why now? I think because it was piling up for a long, long time, and I wouldn't say that it's just now people started to talk about it because I feel like if you're in dancehall for a long period of time, then you've been noticing sometimes this kind of stuff that comes up, like people been already posting some stuff because like, let's say before social medias, it wasn't that like popularized, so of course people were talking to each other about this then posting stuff. Now, more attention to social media. So obviously, it's gonna be more focusing on posting some stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, I would say now it had a really huge like outburst because um, apparently, from what I like, how I think about it, the start of this was between people who really like got enough, from each other, and then female, she was the one who already like she was like, you know what, it's like too much, and she got is it like either it's to be brave enough, like to really speak out loud about all stuff that had happened, or it just to do something bad to this person and to kind of lower the ego of this person, or like to show to reveal how this person is to everyone, like to really do some bad stuff towards this person. I don't know what's inside the head, but
Yeah.
as for me, it can be like both as well, like to finally speak about this because like all of us, as you said, we know that it is like part of the culture. Um, but same time, like, it's like it's enough. Like I'm gonna let you down, So I think that was the point. And then it was just strong female that started to kind of pull out different situations kind of similar to hers maybe, and then just pull and it's like you go after everyone. Like if you see that it's already started to be out loud and you see that everyone is doing this, then you don't feel yourself lonely, and you see that the response. I feel like this, like responsibility is not only on you, so you will be not attacked by everyone. You'll be just a part of this like
Yeah. I
pile.
feel like I don't know if there is a saying in English like this, but it takes one to start the revolution or something like that.
A lot of things were inappropriate, no, for real, like in any sense. And for me it was just trash, instead of just being constructive and like see the topic clear and just give heads up to everything that can happen or happening right now. But first of all, on social media posting like names and on private lives of people, I don't really respect that. I mean, highlight situation that can happen. Of course, if someone is really like, let's say, if we have person who doesn't take any responsibility for what he's done or she's done, then if you tried everything, legal, and nothing works, of course you can go like on social media and say like, you know what, like if you don't take your responsibility, then I'm gonna highlight it. And if nothing works, then I understand that. But here it looks like it went too far, and it was just a trash of like, throwing ping pong, like you and you and you and you and names and pictures and videos and what?
I do understand where these women coming from, and I do fully support like any kind of victim of any type of abuse, because this is hard to, see how you get this type of treatment and then this person get praised by everyone else, and you just like, I feel sometimes want to share some light and just like, that's not who you think this person is. And I think that's what they try to do, to kind of show them that there is a different side to this person, and basically get some support, because I feel you need to be very, very brave and desperate at the same time to do something like this, just to share it with
I agree.
such a
I
big audience.
agree.
Yeah, but what I can say is just like, I hope these women will just find strength within themselves to move on and find the person who will treat them right, and just, leave all of this toxic
Yeah,
communication and everything behind them, and just find peace and love and everything else they
I
deserve.
agree.
So
I,
yeah.
I really I agree with you on that. And I would say just be stronger, mentally, and be more gentle to yourself first, and like take care of yourself first, and then only then you can see what's going on, and don't let anyone take down any of your self love and self-esteem, because this is where it comes from. And I feel that anything can happen, of course, and I wish no one experiences any type of abuse because
Yeah, like getting revenge not gonna help the pain. So it's like trying to find forgiveness is like the best thing you can do for yourself. And like, I do believe that the person who does something like this, uh so like so much hurt inside, that it just like, that's the only way they can, relieve the pain in any way. So like, what I think
yeah,
about is just like, if that's how he treated you, he feels thousands of times worse inside.
there's no point of you spreading your energy on just like letting everyone know that this person's bad, this is a point and pinpoint. No, 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 no. It's gonna be revealed for sure, and karma is bitch. So
On this note, we're gonna we're gonna finish the conversation. So yeah, I hope it was interesting, and I hope I will release some parts very soon. Yeah, thank you, Dee. It was very, very great to have you with me today, and I see you
thank
soon.
you, Julia. Yeah.